Hi everyone, I'm Rich Noonan. Welcome to Builder Spotlight Television on the banks of a very windy Lake Michigan. We are in Manitowoc, Wisconsin, a beautiful town, and we are in search of America's best builders, and we have found one of them here. The Pekarske Builders story, next on Builder Spotlight. The first thing you notice when you see a Pekarske home is that they are different from all of the others in a neighborhood. Different in a great way. Pekarske builds a very nice looking home, big on curb appeal, and little architectural details that turn a house into a warm, wonderful home.
We do our own design work here in-house, so maybe what you're seeing there is some of our little attention to detail. So we might see something, we might put it on a house, and then you may not, as a consumer, really see what exactly we did, but you notice it. You say, there's something different about that house. That's the kind of things we do.
Once you get inside a Pekarske home and start talking to Pekarske home buyers, you realize that aside from the good looks, these homes really work. They are among the most energy-efficient homes in the country. Mark Pekarske graduated from the University of Wisconsin with an engineering degree. But after a year and a half on the desk, he had to move outside to home building. And he and his brother Dave built a great company. With the roots of Pekarske Builders in engineering, the company's homes reflect the cutting edge of efficiency and operate as complete systems.
That's exactly what we talk about, and it's how we do it. All the classes we go to is the house operating as a system. And the way that works is one thing affects another thing. So if you tighten up the house, then you got to make it breathe. You tighten up the house, and maybe it gets more moisture. So you have to deal with all those things. But with our education and the training that we keep going to, we know how to take care of that kind of thing. So yeah, definitely. That's how it kind of works.
One of the ways Pekarske Homes is able to assure efficiency is great planning. Mark uses state-of-the-art computer-aided design programs. The proper heating and cooling loads are all part of that design. In fact, Pekarske has been selected as one of America's most energy-efficient builders.
The 2007 Builder of the Year, State of Wisconsin, was given to us by the governor. And what it was an energy efficiency award. There's only one builder in the whole state that gets it, and in 2007 we got that award. So it was a huge thing.
Chuck Storm and his wife had Pekarske build their stunning home in Cato. Outside it has many cool little details, and inside it's like a designer showplace. Really a beautiful home. Chuck works at the nuclear plant. He understands energy issues, and he loves the way his home performs. He says Mark Pekarske won't let his team hammer a nail if it does not make the house more efficient.
He is meticulous with fit-ups, with insulation, with how things are going to end up. And all the design changes we made, he did with an eye towards efficiency. If I mentioned I wanted to move the fireplace over here to this corner, he would say we can do that, but we have to look at these aspects as well. I spend less heating and cooling this house than I did my old house, which was 1,000 square feet less and did not have an AC unit. So to me it's impressive what can be done when somebody's paying attention to the job.
I want to urge you to give Pekarske Builders a call, even if you're just considering building a new home or doing a great remodel. If you need a basement finished, a fantastic new kitchen or bath, give Pekarske a call now. You'll get a great job at a fair price. Get Pekarske involved early in the process if you can. If you're shopping for a lot, for example, call Pekarske up front, because where you place that home is very important. Mark Pekarske can tell you if the lot you're considering is a good choice for your home.
It's always nice to understand what's going on with the land, the lots. Will this house they're envisioning work on that lot? So if all of a sudden they buy the lot and the house they want won't fit on the lot, or it's not going the right orientation with the sun, which is a big thing with the homes we build. You know, we want to take advantage of the sun, especially in Wisconsin. It's a heating degrees is the biggest thing. So we really want to take care of the heating season. So if we can take advantage of some solar heat gain throughout the day, that's going to affect the heat bills tremendously. And in the summertime, we don't have a lot of super hot days, so we're not worried so much about the cooling load. Although we take care of the cooling load, and it's a smaller bill.
I don't want to suggest for a moment that the only reason to hire Pekarske Builders is because they're a leader in energy efficiency across the country, but it simply can't be overlooked when you talk to Pekarske clients such as Brad and Terry Meissen. Their Pekarske home in Cato is beautiful and incredibly energy efficient. They spend about $200 a month total to run this large home. They have a pellet stove, a geothermal system, and lots of insulation from beneath the foundation throughout the home. They loved working with Pekarske builders because they needed a lot of hand-holding. This was their first new home build.
We had a lot of questions because we had never built before, so we had a lot of questions. And I mean, Mark even came over a couple of times at night and sat down and met with us and went over everything that we had questions on so that we understood how this works.
A lot of Brad's questions were about energy savings.
The house, we figured out a 12-month average of somewhere around $200. That's with the pellets, natural gas, electricity for the geothermal, and the rest of the house. It's been actually quite nice. We haven't spent, I don't think, more than $500 on propane.
Wow.
And we're going on 2.5 years, almost 3 years in this house.
Any builder is only as good as his or her subcontractors, vendors, and construction partners. Mark Pekarske's been in the home construction business since he was a 15-year-old kid working with his uncle. He knows the best people out there, and he only uses the best. Keel Building Supply is one of them.
I've been dealing with Keel Building Supply probably for the last 5 years now, and they are just fantastic to deal with. They have specialty people. So I have one guy I deal with for interior doors, one guy for exterior doors, another guy for siding and roofing. A great cabinet shop. We buy almost all of our cabinets from them. They have a good designer. She does a great job with it. So just about everything we do, they have specialty people involved. It's not just like I'm dealing with one salesperson. I get to deal with everyone, and that's what I like about the company. It's a small company. They have probably 3 different building supply places. And they just do a great job, and that's why we like going there.
Keel Building Supply has its own cabinet designer and cabinetry manager, and a huge inventory for both builders and homeowners. If you need building supplies of all kinds, call Keel. Mark says the guys at Keel totally understand the concept of superior service. They do whatever it takes to help him get the job done right every time.
I would say Keel Building Supply is a very competitively priced building supplier. They do a great job. I think anyone can, almost any building supply place can supply materials, but it comes down to service, and we don't get any better service than Keel Building Supply.
Keel Building Supply, on the web at furnishanddesign.com. Read the Raving Fans section of the website and see what the customers have been saying. Or feel free to give Keel a call anytime at 920-894-2424. Pekarske also uses several well-known local companies for key jobs on Pekarske home builds. Carpets Plus of America handles all the flooring needs and does so like no other. When you take a stroll through the huge Carpets Plus of America showroom in Manitowoc, you see why you need a pro to help you when it comes to flooring. The choices can be dizzying, from awesome hardwoods to state-of-the-art new carpet styles and materials.
We deal with Carpets Plus because there's good guys to work for. The install team is fantastic, so we know who's going to be installing our carpet and flooring. That's the biggest part about it. I think we can get carpet, a certain type of carpet or brand of carpet from just about anyone we want. But the thing is, we talk to Bob and we get that thing done right. And the install team is fantastic. So that's the whole thing with that. It gets us in the schedule, and we know the installers, and we know they do a great job.
Bob Dietering is the guy for flooring in this region. He is very proud of his Carpets Plus of America team. I asked him what separates Carpets Plus of America from the competitors.
The 2 things that we're doing better than the competition is certainly service. Without a doubt, there just is nothing that we're not going to do to keep the customer happy. Pricing is very easy to be competitive. That's the easy part of it. And I would say our biggest claim to fame is we have 7 installers that combined maybe have 150 years of experience, and they're doing the jobs right.
If you haven't shopped for flooring lately, and I hadn't, things have really changed. The hard surface choices, the green materials are awesome. But for Bob, it's much more about people than products. He gets emotional when he thinks about his customers and how they sustained his business when the home building bust hit a few years ago.
Certainly the business climate has changed, and it got tough for a while. I've been doing this for 30 years, and repeat and referral has been my success. And today I get a great kick, tells you how old I am, but I get a great kick out of having a younger couple come in that have just bought their first home. They come in, they ask, "Are you Bob?" And I go, "Yeah, that's me." And they go, "Well, our parents told me if we're going to buy flooring, you're the guy to talk to."
Listen to your parents. Call Bob at Carpets Plus of America or stop in at 2718 Calumet Avenue in Manitowoc. Bob's a great guy who really cares about customer service. Czech Electric handles the electrical needs for Pekarske builders, and Madsen Tiling and Excavating moves lots of dirt for Pekarske. First, Czech Electric. What a great company. Jim Czech's father started the company back in 1963. Jim has been running it for well over 20 years now, and no matter what your electrical needs are, from simple wiring to a whole house automation system you can control from thousands of miles away, Czech will do it and do it the right way.
Since we've been building as Pekarske builders, I have been using Czech Electric. And they're the guys that always say, "Yeah, we can do it." That's the kind of guys they are. That's all they do. They always say, "Yep, we can do it." There's never, "I don't know about that," or "I don't know about this." It's always, "Yep, we can do it," and that's how they go. So they're really good guys. The guys they have out there, the lead people they have out there talking to the homeowners, extremely nice. And that's one thing we love about it, is that we have some people there that can actually talk to the homeowner. I don't have to be there. They go through the whole list of what they have to do, and they do a good job with it.
But first and foremost, we're about quality. Quality people doing a quality job. Whether it's residential, commercial, industrial, even new technologies such as wind energy and solar, we're involved in that. And the key phrase that we use is quality people doing quality job.
Czech Electric, residential, commercial, industrial, home automation, solar, wind energy, you name it. Czech Electric, the difference is quality. Madsen Tiling and Excavating has a similar story to Czech Electric. Madsen Tiling and Excavating is a second-generation family business in which doing the job right every time is simply the only way to do it. Mark Pekarske says you need confidence in the guys who prepare your lot, and he has confidence in Madsen.
Madsen, they've been working for us since we started as Pekarske builders, and he graduated high school a couple of years younger than me, so I knew him the whole time I was growing up. But they do all of our excavations, so dig a basement, they do it. They do a septic system for us, they do it. So anything to do with the driveway, we did a subdivision down in Howards Grove, Wisconsin. It was a 27-lot subdivision. They did all the road work, they did all the septic system, or the sewers, they did all the storm sewers, and then they did everything like that. So yeah, they do a little bit of everything for us.
Madsen does lots of builder work, but more than half the company's business still comes from home and farm owners who know that the Madsen name is synonymous with quality work.
My message to employees is the customer is the one who makes your paycheck. It's not me. You need to make them happy, and if there's something not right, that is something was done not right, we stand behind it and take care of it.
Madsen Tiling and Excavating. Give Kevin Madsen a call with any of your excavating questions. Foundations, driveways, septic systems. If you need the earth moved, call Madsen. Well, one of the things I loved about doing this edition of Builder Spotlight Television on Pekarske Builders was speaking to Pekarske clients. All of them told a similar story. They say during the build, the Pekarske team kept them informed, stayed on budget, and stayed on schedule.
We had a pretty tight schedule being a parade home on here. We had a very tight schedule. He had it laid out, and you could go look at that schedule 3 weeks in advance, and he would have on there installing upstairs hardware in the bathroom. And you could come back on that day pretty much to that hour, and that's what would be going on. Anybody that's talked to anybody, it's either you have had that experience, terrible experience building a house, or you know people who've had a terrible experience building a house. It's one or the other, and I'd heard the same things. I've heard of cost overruns, I've heard of bad delivery schedules, you name it, you hear those stories. Okay? And so you kind of come into it with a preconceived notion that this is going to be tough, but I'm going to gut it out and I'm going to get through it. I didn't find that at all to be the case with Mark. I was waiting at the very end of it when we finally cut our final check and took possession, that up until this point, this is going to go poorly, because it hadn't happened yet. So it was an extremely pleasurable experience to go through that, the processes of picking out the minute detail from your cabinetry to your flooring to all the things that you would never think of that you live in a house that you have to pick out. It was oddly kind of enjoyable to go pick that stuff out. He had a timeline and a schedule when it needed to be done, and when he said that was when it was ready to go, it was ready to go, down to the day.
Another Pekarske home builder client, Brad Meisen, is a quality assurance expert. His wife, Terry, is a business analyst. These people know what good service and keeping a schedule's all about, and they love the way Pekarske handled their budget and their schedule.